Donetsk shook again, not from the invaders' footsteps, but from their deadly steel wings. From low in the sky, FPV drones from the 414th UAV Brigade, Birds of Magyar, swooped down like birds of death, seeking every enemy head to finish. That day, Russian troops attempted to advance with arrogance. Some marched on foot through open paths. Others formed convoys on motorcycles, as if their machines could withstand Ukrainian air power. However, what they encountered was not safety, but a hell remotely controlled by our UAV operators. During this operation, the 414th UAV Brigade, Birds of Magyar, received orders to intercept and thwart the enemy's advance. Combat FPV units were immediately deployed, with experienced operators ready to carry out multi-pronged attacks to ascertain the enemy's position and movement patterns. From the air, the enemy lines were clearly visible, marching across the open area without adequate cover. One by one, the FPVs struck, the first explosion breaking the line, and bodies of the invaders tumbled to the ground. Those running tried to escape, but the hum of small engines in the air was now the enemy's death rattle. It didn't stop there. In the second attack, several Russian units formed a motorized convoy, attempting to break through the open lane at high speed, with the UAV operator reporting, "Target clearly visible, every enemy head exposed, ready for the FPV to hit." The first wave of FPV drones launched with great precision. One by one, the FPV units dived at full speed toward individual enemies. The first explosion shook the ground, breaking the Russian infantry line. Some soldiers tried to run for cover, but each attempt was followed by the inexorable scream of the FPV engines. The result of this phase? Dozens of enemy soldiers fell, the line shattered, enemy morale shattered, and the Russian motorized convoy attempted to penetrate the side lane on motorcycles. The UAV operator immediately shifted focus to this rapid advance, the FPV drones locking onto each motorcycle, striking with precision blasts. In a matter of seconds, motor vehicles were destroyed, their riders thrown to the ground, and explosion after explosion transformed the open road into a field of fire and rubble. The remaining enemy fighters who remained on the narrow road attempted to flee on foot. The UAV Brigade's heads as aiming points strategy proved infallible. Any individual attempting to flee immediately became a target for the FPVs, until no significant enemy movement was visible. The motorcycle convoy attempting to flee fared no better. In a matter of seconds, its wheels came to a standstill. Its riders were smashed to the ground, struck by precision-guided explosions, and the open road became a graveyard for the invaders. 48 Russian invaders were obliterated, leaving them with no safe haven, no refuge, no future on Ukrainian soil. This operation reaffirmed that air dominance through tactical UAV units is the key to victory on the modern battlefield. The 414th UAV Brigade, Birds of Magyar, successfully halted the enemy's advance, destroying both their infantry and motorized convoys and asserting Ukrainian supremacy in the Donetsk sector. Every enemy head on the front line is now a deadly target from the skies. Ukrainian FPV drones and Ukraine's steel birds never sleep. Meanwhile, Ukraine's general staff warns Russia will focus its autumn-winter offensive on Pokrovsk and Dobropilya, using mass infantry assaults despite continuing heavy losses. Russia will continue to focus its efforts in two sectors, Pokrovsk and Dobropilya, in the coming weeks, according to Major General Andriy Hanatov, Chief of the General Staff. He said in an interview with Ukrinform that the situation on the battlefield remains difficult. The Kremlin's forces are storming Ukrainian positions with a 5- to 6-fold superiority in manpower and equipment numbers. The enemy is conducting offensive actions along the entire line of contact in 13 main operational axes, averaging 160 to 190 assault waves per day, Hanatov said. The tensest situation remains in eastern Ukraine, where Russian forces, supported by aviation, artillery, and the wide use of lethal attack drones, are conducting high-intensity assaults. Russia is attempting to seize Chasiv Yar and Donetsk, setting the conditions to encircle Kostiantynivka from multiple directions and capture the Pokrovsk-Mirnohrad agglomeration. Currently, the enemy is trying to infiltrate small groups into the rear of our forces, accumulate there, and then push the offensive further, Hanatov said. In response, Ukrainian forces continue to mount counterattacks to regain lost positions and eliminate Russian infiltrators in their rear. In general, despite significant losses in personnel, weapons, and equipment, the enemy refuses to halt defensive actions. Developments in other sectors, such as Zaporizhia, will depend on events near Pokrovsk, Hanatov said. He said that weather is a major factor. Heavy rain reduces mobility and limits maneuvering on the battlefield. Still, Russia is likely to persist with its current operations. Colonel Maxim Bakulin, press officer of the National Guard's 14th Operational Brigade, Chervona Kalina, said the situation near Pokrovsk is changing dramatically. According to him, poor weather conditions, strong winds, and overcast skies are preventing Russian forces from effectively using drones, while mass infantry assaults are resulting in heavy losses. He added that both Russian and Ukrainian forces must adapt to these conditions. But Russia faces additional problems when relying on mass infantry assaults. Bakulin said that when Russian forces advance en masse with infantry, they don't have time to bring up supporting firepower. Now we see that they are losing a huge number of personnel every day. They are now breaking bad. They are surrounded. They have huge losses. And they have problems with logistics, he said. Earlier, Ukrainian Armed Forces AFU Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky said Russia is employing 1,000 cuts tactics in the Dobropilya and Novopavlivka sectors, sending numerous small assault groups of 4 to 6 soldiers through terrain features such as ravines and tree lines to penetrate Ukrainian defenses. Syrsky also reported Ukrainian advances in the Dobropilya area, where some Russian units were encircled. Nevertheless, their integration into Ukrainian operations is not only disrupting Russian encirclement attempts, but also serving as a vivid example of international solidarity. While Russian commanders continue to throw men and equipment into meat grinder, Brazilians and other foreign volunteers stand firm, proving that Ukraine's struggle has become a cause people are willing